You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I am really excited to be here with you today. I am, first of all, going to just add my name there so that for those who don't know how to spell it, you can do that. But also, I want to share the proverb for the day. Remember, with the African Father in America podcast, AFIA podcast, every single Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we bring to you a new African proverb, and we also bring to you 3 nuggets of wisdom related to that proverb so that, you can ground yourself in who you are as an African, no matter where you are around the world. I love doing this every single day because it helps me ground myself in who I am. It reminds me of my mother, who used a lot of proverbs in bringing me up as a young man, And also it reminds me about my ancestors, because these proverbs are really things that our ancestors shared with us, and they left this behind us so that we can meditate with them. We can really, use a lot of wise tactics in how we tackle things in life. So that's why we're here. But I have a special guest. I'm going to introduce him in a moment. For now, I want you to see the proverb on your screen. And if you're listening on AMP, or if you're listening to the show later on after the live stream, our proverb says, "A little rain each day will fill the river to overflowing." This proverb is from Liberia. And before I continue on to share the 3 nuggets of wisdom, I want to bring our guest here on the screen. Our guest is a wonderful brother who is an amazing leader here in Seattle, Washington, and is someone that I have a lot of love and respect for. Salif, say hi to our viewers and our listeners, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Salif Savadogo. Yes, I am an entrepreneur. I live in Seattle, Washington.
Thank you all for joining us. We just lost Salif there. We will bring him back in just a moment. It must be a technical glitch. And for now, I will continue on and share with you. Salif is here, so I'll bring him just back. Salif, I'll bring you back here. What happened there?
I believe I have a connection issue. But we
No
are back
problem.
again.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem. So go ahead and just say hello again. You're introducing yourself there real quick. So go ahead and do it. And then I will share the 3 nuggets of wisdom related to today's African proverb.
You got it. Yes, hello, everyone. Thanks for watching Simon Live podcast. My name is Salif Savadogo. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm originally from Burkina Faso, West Africa, and I've been living in Seattle, Washington for the last 18 years.
Wonderful. Salif is, again, someone that I've been looking forward to hosting for today's show. Is much like me. He supports young African artists here in the diaspora, and that's how we connected originally. But those who watch this show regularly know that I talk a lot about the Madaraka Festival, and I can't do Madaraka Festival by myself. So Salif is one of the leaders in Seattle who literally hit the pavement over the last many months and helped me bring the community to the Madaraka Festival. And he also went beyond that, and he supports an incredible artist that I interviewed here recently. Franco is the manager for Franco, the Burkinabe artist who recently dropped an album. So we will talk about all that, but for the sake of those who are just joining us for today's show, I just want to make sure I share the proverb one more time. It says, "A little rain each day will fill the river to overflowing." Today we go all the way to Monrovia in Liberia. That's where our proverb comes from. And I'm going to share the 3 nuggets of wisdom related to this proverb here real quick. And the first one says that small, consistent actions can lead to big results over time. Just like the little rain that eventually fills the rivers, even small, seemingly insignificant actions can make a big difference in the long run. So don't be afraid to start small and just keep going, just keep going. That's what I think AFIA podcast represents. We are almost 4 years in doing this daily African proverbs, in doing this show, and look at where we are now. I was really surprised yesterday. Somebody called me and he asked me, how much is it to be on your show? I told him a big number and he said, no problem. I'll be there, So I'm telling you, if you're consistent, you have no idea what other people are seeing and what they're thinking about what you're building. So I'm really happy with what happened yesterday. But here is our second nugget of wisdom. Don't give up on your goals, even if they seem difficult. The journey to achieving your goals may be long and challenging, but it's important to never give up. Just keep taking those small steps, consistent steps, and eventually you will reach your destination. This is really important. There's a different African proverb that says that we should plant a tree even if we will never enjoy its shade. Even if we will never sit around its shade, we should still plant the trees. And this is a reminder about that, and I feel like the shadow or the shade of this tree we are planting with AFIA podcast, these conversations we are having, the work we are doing with Madaraka Festival, it's really our children that are going to enjoy the fruits of the labor that we are putting in. Now, the last nugget of wisdom says that every day matters. Don't waste a single day. Make the most of each day and every day by taking action and taking actions towards your goal. Really, I see that we've lost Salif here again. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who is joining us. I see you all. I see you on YouTube. I see you on LinkedIn. I see you on Facebook. I see you on. I also see you on X. Twitter is called X these days. So thank you for joining us across all these platforms. But importantly, if you're on YouTube, I want you to take a minute and give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching this show right now, and even if you're watching it later on, I want you to take a minute and comment down below with your own interpretation of today's proverb. It's really important that we know that you're paying attention. So the proverb says, a little rain each day will fill the river to overflowing. Share in the comments what this means to you. Now, my brother Salif Savadogo, what does this proverb mean to you? Share with us, please.
Yes, I really love this proverb. It applies to my everyday, to my life, if you want to put it that way. Um, I take small steps for everything that I do. I go through the proper channel, and then doing those things on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, that would help you reach your goal, achieve your goal. So when you have a to-do list on a daily basis, you say, okay, you get up today, what I'm gonna be doing, what is my day gonna be like, or if you have a plan ahead of time, that would help you follow those steps slowly and get to where you want it to be. So every day step that you take on a consistent basis, you do it on a daily basis over and over and over. You can never overdo it. You can never overdo it. Most likely it will take you to where you're supposed to be. And then it required patience. You need to really be determined. You need to have passion for what you do. All those kind of things is a package for your success, for you to reach what you wanted to do. You can never give up in the process. You can never give up. You have to really keep on going. Believe in yourself is the key. That's the number one. If you really believe in yourself that you can do it, no matter what people saying left and right, it's you and your ideas. And most likely, yes, you will get to where you want it to be. Your success will come in uh, before your eyes, before you even know it. And that's how I apply myself. I've been doing that for years and years, and how I believe in myself and in how I take risk. I'm a risk taker, and then I always have things on my in my head to like go ahead and do so, and then that's how I function. That's how I work on it on a daily basis. So yeah, I love this proverb a lot.
Yeah, me too, me too, me too. That's lovely. Thank you very much. For those who are just joining us, if you're joining us, at any of the platforms I just talked about a minute ago, my guest is Salif Savadogo, and he's an entrepreneur based here in Seattle, Washington, originally from Burkina Faso. Salif, one of the questions I ask all my guests is to take us back to a time when you're maybe 8 years to 12 years old, and share with us a story that really inspires who you are today. As you said, you're a risk taker. You're someone who loves helping people, just by the work you do as the manager of Franco, who is a young and promising artist here in the African diaspora. I just want you to take us back, share with us a story that when you look back, you feel that, wow, this is what drives me, this is what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Simon, for asking this wonderful question. Um, my life has been wonderful, and I'm so grateful to where I am today. And I thank God for everything that He put into the path for me to be.
Beautiful people, we just lost Salif again, and I just thank you for being patient with us, because I think it's internet connection, and he's going to be here with us again. So just be patient. But also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want you to take a minute and make sure you do so. This is a good time for you to also give this video a thumbs up. That's really important. Okay, my brother. Do you have headphones? Salif. Yeah, I can't hear you, and there's an echo now. No, I cannot hear you. Yeah, so you have to leave the show and come back. And if you have another gadget that you're using to maybe watch the show on the side, also turn it off. Excellent. So we will continue with the show while Salif figures. Okay. I'll kick you out of the show, and then you come back. Greetings, beautiful people. This is the beauty of hosting shows like this live and figuring it out as you go. And it's one of the reasons I love doing this show, because you figure out the technical issues, you overcome them, and then you continue on with the show and you keep building. So if you're joining me, today is a Thursday, and our proverb today takes us all the way to Liberia, and it says that a little rain each day will fill the river to overflowing. I'm going to bring back my guest here, and we are going to continue on with the conversation. Thank you for being patient with us. Salif, how are you doing now? Salif, say something. Yeah, you have to take off the headphones and just function without them the way you are at the beginning of the show. Yeah. Look at your text message. It might help. I'll send your text. Okay. Great.
Great.
So for those who are
For
joining
those who are
us, thank you
joining us, thank
again
you
for your
again for your
patience. And
patience.
I have a
I
guest
have a
here,
guest here.
and he's just having technical difficulties with this setup. Everything is going to flow smoothly in just a moment. I just want to thank you again for being here with me for another episode of the African Father in America podcast. I have been doing this show since 2020. So this is the third year, and very soon we'll be on the fourth year. Around February of 2024 we will be beginning the fourth year of the AFIA podcast. And I just love the growth of this platform, and I deeply appreciate your support. And one of the things I value the most is having guests, including you who is watching the show right now. And one of the ways you can support and help me continue doing this in a consistent manner is by subscribing, and also by giving this video a thumbs up. So hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you comment down below. Share your own perspective in regards to the proverb that is grounding our conversation today. I am going to share the proverb here with you one more time, and I am going to situate our guest, and we are going to have a beautiful conversation as we continue on with today's episode of the African Father in America podcast. So thank you again for your patience. Salif, how are you now?
Yes, I'm doing good. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Salif. So share with us this story the question I asked you before we got interrupted with the technical difficulty is, a childhood story that inspires who you are as a leader, as an entrepreneur today.
Yes. So thank you again for asking me these wonderful questions. I think that what inspired me the most to be where I am today as a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's let's be honest, it's poverty in Africa when I was growing up. So we did not have much. We didn't have enough my father didn't have enough to support the family. He was an ex-military from the French government back then. He fought in the North Africa War, and I believe it's in 1950, 1960s. So he was part of the French army, but he got me. I was born after he retired, so we didn't have much. And he, unfortunately, he passed away when I was 11 years old. And then when he was gone, my world got crashed. So I didn't have any father figure. I was with my mom, and then it was a little difficult for us to get by. And then me seeing my mom going from family members to family members for help, it wasn't sitting well with me. At 11 years old, I was already conscious of what I wanted to be. I knew I had to be the man. And then so it really got me to the point that I was being so inspired by the successful people that was around us. I was asking my questions like, okay, how do these guys get the money? How do we have these things and we do not have them? What's the drive? Then I started like networking. I wasn't. I even sat my mom at 12 years old, and I told her that I need to get out. I need to go. And I was only 12. She was laughing, but I was so serious about it. I need to go somewhere where I can make money so I can support her. I didn't see any issue. I didn't see any hope in the village where we were. I did not see any other exit for us to better our situations. And then so every night I was just thinking about my life and how things gonna go. I was a really smart student in school. I was so smart, but I couldn't even afford to get the books. I couldn't afford to buy pens. We couldn't afford anything. So my teacher at that time, he was the one that for 2 years straight he was helping me buy all my school, my school supplies. He was the one that really supported me through those years, my sixth and then my fifth and sixth grade. Uh, then and then out of nowhere, When I was done with my sixth grade, I had my uncle. He lives in the capital city of Ouagadougou. Then he came by and he saw my grade, and he like, oh, this guy is really smart. So then he lended me a hand. So he took me to the town of Ouagadougou, and I was 13, 14 years, I believe 14 years at that time. And from there, I told my mom that there's no coming back. I'm gonna be a bigger man. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna have money. So we're gonna get out of these situations. And then here I am today. So I believe poverty, me not wanting to go back to being broke, to not having anything.
That's such a beautiful story that Salif is sharing with us. I wish there was no technical glitches, but there are things that we can't control, and this is one of them. Let's hear what he has to say. Salif, you are talking about why poverty is what inspired you to, to move to Ouagadougou, and how that is really what inspires you today. Ouagadougou is the capital city in Africa with the longest name, right?
I believe so.
when the World Cup was being held in Ouagadougou some years ago, I was
Yes.
still living in Africa. Not World Cup, Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
And one of the in Kenya we played soccer everywhere, every time. So
Yes.
when Africa Cup of Nations was happening that year, the internet was not even so popular. Social media was not so popular. But we had these magazines that had all the soccer players. And there was one of the older boys in our neighborhood. He would test us. Can you spell Ouagadougou? I'm telling you, nobody could spell Ouagadougou because
Yes.
it's so long.
So right. You are so right. It's
Yeah.
Thomas' name.
Yeah.
Yes. Thomas' name. Yes.
So
So
I wanted to talk to you briefly about what you're currently focusing on as an entrepreneur. And also, let's say you went back to the village where your mother raised you, and the village where you used to tell your mom that, hey, I have to get out of here when you are still 12 years old. Before you do that, though, before you share with us, what you'd tell your mom right now, that, look, mom, this is where now I am. You remember that day when I was 12 and when I told you I needed to go? This is where that journey has got me, But take us a little further and just talk to us about the current situation in Ouagadougou and Burkina Faso in general. Everybody is looking at Burkina Faso across Africa because
yes.
Burkina Faso's president is loved by Putin, Burkina Faso's president is like a reincarnation of Thomas Sankara, and then just the other day, not even the other day, yesterday, there was another coup in Gabon, So
Yes.
speak about this. Speak about the chain of coups that are going on in Africa, how it feels that, your country is actually one of the popular ones amongst the countries that are being led by young military men. The president of Burkina Faso is the youngest in the world right now. Is he even 35 yet?
I believe he's 32 years old.
Right. So
Yeah. I
speak
think,
to that. Speak to how you feel about what's going on in Burkina Faso, the recent coups in Africa, and then just take us back to the village and imagine that you're speaking to your mom. Tell her how that moment that you are telling her that you wanted to leave, how that has inspired who you are today.
yes. The situation in Burkina Faso is so unfortunate. It has to come to this point because Burkina Faso has known a president named Thomas Sankara. He's a great guy with great ideas. But when he was a president at that time in the 1980s, he was misunderstood. So people did not understand his idea. The country was newly independent. They got independent from the French government 20 years in 1960. So Thomas Sankara came to the power in 1983, I believe. So the country was newly, under the French government. So his idea, people did not understand his ideas. He was a very young president too, and then he wanted nothing but good for the younger generation at that time. He promoted a lot of young women. He was really big advocate for women in the government, and people did not understand why
Yeah, forgive me. We are experiencing very inconsistent connection with my conversation with Salif, which is beautiful. Our conversation is really beautiful, and it's unfortunate that we cannot control the technical situation that is going on. Salif, by the way, why do you think this thing keeps going on and off like that? What's going on?
I think so. I have it. I don't think there's any connectivity issues on my side. Maybe some other problem that we're having. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. So, but yeah, so
Yeah, yeah,
the
keep
country,
speaking. You're painting the picture about Thomas Sankara
yeah,
and how that has led to where Burkina Faso is, and then you will
he's
take us back to the conversation with your mom.
yeah. So yeah, Thomas Sankara. So he set the tone to what you're seeing today. So I call he's Ibrahim Traore. He's for me he's Sankara 2.0. So same idea, same mentality. He wanted good for the younger people, and I believe that what led to him being here today, it's what we have going on in Burkina Faso as terrorism. So terrorism has taken the northern part of the country, um, and people has to fled. People left the village. Even the village that I was born to, that village doesn't exist anymore. It's there, but everybody left the village because of terrorism. So, and then, so I believe that he was tired of seeing what happening. He was tired of seeing that the leaders are not taking any action against those type of behavior coming from some other people that wanted to impose some of the belief to other people. So then he took the matter on his own hand. And he's a really wonderful young president. He got really great ideas, and he want to do away with the Western ideas of such as like France, that is keeping those countries down, and with the agreement that they signed back in the '60s, and they cannot get off these things, and then you have to repay debts, you have to do this and that. Um, so yeah, he's a really smart guy for me, and then he's the reincarnation of Sankara 2.0 for me. Um, so I know that he went to Russia, to talk with Putin. That's that's not what a lot of people wanted to see, because it's like moving from another bad house to a different one. But he may have a great agenda because he's really putting all the equipment, necessary equipment, to fight against terrorism in Burkina Faso, which is like the biggest problem that we have right now. Um, so taking me back, if I had stayed in the village right now, if I didn't get a chance to get out, that village doesn't exist anymore. Everybody fled the village. People that stay over there did not get much done. No successful person came from that village anymore. So I think that my mom is so happy right now that I'm not there. Physically, I'm not at that same place. I'm not even in Ouagadougou at that moment that we speak. So she's grateful because I'm able to provide her with everything that she needs. Um, if she asks me for some money, she asks for anything else, it's my duty, it's my right, and I have to take care of her, and that's what I've been doing. So, and it's unfortunate that those things happening around Africa, like you saw the coup that just happened in Gabon. Um, it started from Burkina, it went to Mali. I believe it started in Mali, it went to Burkina and Niger. Now we have Gabon. So I think like that the younger generations is saying that enough is enough. Enough is enough. They want to have control of their government. They want to know what's going on. They want to get out of the poverty. That's what they keep the youth. They want to have really great entrepreneur. They want to have a safe economy.
Yeah, Salif has left us again, and he leaves us when he's, sharing the most juicy parts of our conversation today. So just stay with me and be patient as we continue on with the conversation. So Salif, let's continue on a little further. You've shared with us, how deplorable the situation is in Africa, especially just seeing how younger generation, especially those who are in the military, are taking over the government because they're tired. They're tired of leaders who are being controlled by the West, or the East, or who have no interest of the people at heart, and you spoke about the countries in West Africa that have had coups recently, from Guinea. I think it's Guinea-Bissau, right? Yeah, it's Guinea-Bissau that had a coup, then Mali, then Niger, then Burkina Faso, and then just Gabon yesterday. Now, the other thing that I know you for as an entrepreneur is investing in young African talents. And Franco, who is also from Burkina Faso, is your primary focus right now. Speak to us about why, first of all, how you feel about the album that you just dropped together with your artist, where things are, and why this is important to you. There are so many people here in the diaspora, like me and you. We are both Africans who immigrated from the motherland, and we live here. Many people like us invest in buying many houses, buying many cars, going to the Caribbean for holidays, or going to Hawaii, But you've chosen to invest in another brother. Why?
Yes, great question. Because music has been part of my life, so I always enjoyed music a lot. When I was growing up, Congolese music was big back home back then. And then as young people, we love to dance. That's what we do. Africa, we love to dance a lot. Then when I got the opportunity when I went to the city, I've seen. I went to some of the studios, music studio. I met like great artists over there. I wanted to know how the whole process worked. In my neighborhood, I had some friend that became musician, artist, and then. But me, it was a cost to even go to a studio. Like people couldn't have a chance to get to a studio because it was so expensive. They are so talented, but they don't have the money to get to the studio to even make a one song. And I told myself that if I am able to make money, become whatever I want to be in this life, successful person, I'm going to build my own studio. I'm going to build my own studio so I can just help people can just come and make music whenever they want. They don't even have to pay me. That was my goal. So, but then I came to the United States. um, I built my home studio. I have a home studio here with me. It's not too big, but it's doable. Then when I met Franco and he explained me his situation, what he's a great artist. I listen to his music, and then what he's going through. He doesn't have anybody behind him, or the people that started promoting him left him, and he was just by himself. And then I've noticed that he's really talented. I was like, okay, why don't I just invest in this young man, and then take it to the next level and see where his things are gonna go. And me and him, we just click. We just started, talking, texting to WhatsApp, and then he sent me his music left and right. I'm listening to it, and then we decided, okay, let's finish up this album, let's make it official. So yeah, then we start working, and I start taking him to the studio that I know in Shoreline, Washington State, a professional studio that one of my friends used to work over there.
Beautiful people, I knew that this was coming. So I also knew that it was time for us to talk a little bit about two events that I am currently promoting So I am going to have Franco join us again. He has, he's calling in again. So I'll have Franco join us. But Franco, hold your thoughts there for a moment, because I just want to make sure I pay the bills. I want to talk about two things. Number one, I want to talk about the Taste of Madaraka Festival that is happening here in Seattle, Washington on September 17th. 6 to 9 p.m. at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. We are going to have incredible music by One Vibe Band. I will be performing live, by the way, backed by One Vibe Band, and also Anthony Cole from Trinidad and Tobago will be performing live as well. So join us, get your tickets at Eventbrite for Taste of Madaraka Festival. This is going to be happening every third Sunday of the month between September and March 2024. September 2023 to March 2024. Every third Sunday of the month at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. Make sure you join us this September 17th. The other event that I really want you all to join me for is the Africa Day Business Forum. This is an event that is especially important for business people. If you own a company, even in Africa or anywhere else across the US, and you want to connect with US-based companies, US government institutions that actually invest in businesses in Africa and also here in the US, banking institutions, you should come to Africa Day Business Forum. This is going to be on September 30th at the Motif Hotel. This is an event that I really believe in. I attended it for so many years before I had the opportunity to help with marketing it and promoting it. So also go to Eventbrite and make sure you join me at the Motif Hotel on September 30th for Africa Day Business Forum. So now, Salif, I just want us to continue on and go towards wrapping up our time together today. When you think about our conversation today, I wanted to talk to you a bit about Madaraka Festival, your own experience of it, what you think about it. So talk about Madaraka Festival briefly, but also talk about maybe one thing that you really want to share that I have not had an opportunity to ask you. And also, don't worry about these technical issues. I will host you again as a guest, and just make sure you are at a place where the internet is clean and steady. And go ahead, after this show, just go ahead and book our next show as soon as you can, so that we can do this over again, because there's so much that you had to say. But today was beautiful too. Today was beautiful, So go ahead.
Got it. No problem at all. You got it. Yeah, Madaraka Festival. I first heard it last year when I met with Franco. So he's the one that talked to me about it. That Simon's Simon's the CEO of Madaraka Festival, and then I look it up. And then I went to your Instagram page and I checked all the details. I'm like, okay, this is something that is really big. This is something that is bringing together all the East African artists, and this is something that brings the community together, and that is something that is really positive. And then for me, I've seen nothing but a sense of a family, people coming together to enjoy music, promote African music throughout the whole United States. And then I felt that was something that's really wonderful. So I even bought my own ticket. I took my wife with me, and then we went. We went to the show in Seattle. It was really, really beautiful. A lot of people came out. I was so surprised because so many people came out to see, to watch this show. And then for me, from that.
Forgive me, people. This is, when Salif is speaking and saying really beautiful things is when this thing glitches. So forgive me. And here he is. Carry on, Salif.
Yeah. So when I went, I saw the show, and I was okay. This is something that's really wonderful. Simon is really doing a great things, bringing people together. And then, I would say, okay, let me see if we can be part of that and even expand it further. So instead of being just the East Africa, maybe if Simon is okay to bring in like a West African artist, we have a lot of good talent all over Africa. It doesn't matter where. There's so many talents. And that's something that's really attracted me to all the hard work you put in behind it, the team that is helping you make it success. It was something that is, I felt so inspired, and kept me moving. And then when I met you, I'm like, okay, if this guy, he doesn't sleep, he's always, connecting people, he's always bringing people together. So it's something that I want to see a brother doing. And then he's inspired me a lot to even be even better at what I'm doing. If I hadn't met you, I cannot tell you that I would be sitting here talking to you right now or having all the wisdom that I have right now. But Madaraka Festival itself inspired me a lot to become even a better entrepreneur and be a better music manager.
I love that. So, and I thank you for everything you just said about Madaraka Festival. As we began the show, I was, just thanking you for the support, because I definitely know I could not do it on my own. So, thank you. What did I not ask you that you want to talk about before we end our conversation today?
It's We have some shows coming up. Franco is a wonderful artist that I'm promoting. I'm his manager right now. So we have a show coming up in November. The date is not out yet, so work on the flyer, to work on the details to get you guys on the loop. And after that, we have another show in March of 2024. That's going to be one of the biggest one that we are preparing. We also have some video shoot. His album is really wonderful. He put in a really good music. If you listen to the album, you don't want to stop it. So we're gonna have some video shoot coming up, so we can share with all the wonderful people, his fans, all over the social media, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, so we are really busy working on connecting the dots and then making some wonderful things happening. So, but yeah, we are excited.
Excellent. Again, thank you for taking the time, and thank you to all our viewers who have been here with us throughout the show. My guest has been Salif Savadogo, who is an entrepreneur and an artist manager as well, originally from Burkina Faso, and now a member of our African diaspora community here in the Pacific Northwest. I just want to thank you for being patient with us throughout the show. We had a lot of technical glitches, and we are going to have Salif back again so that we can really enjoy this show without interruptions. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I want you to take a moment and subscribe, and also make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That's how YouTube algorithm works. If you do not give the video a thumbs up, it's almost like we never even did this today. If you do not comment, it's almost like we never said anything meaningful today. So let me know what today's proverb meant to you. I'm just going to share it real quick because some of you are just joining us, and I also want to thank everyone joining me on AMP. If you're joining me on AMP and you have not followed me over there, make sure you do so. Our proverb said, "A little rain each day will fill the river to overflowing." I shared the 3 nuggets of wisdom related to this proverb, and I urge you to engage with it through commenting below. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, same vibration. Thank you so much, Salif.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from